and we're going to move to a company called PlaySide Studios, which is a company I've been tweeting about this past week. PlaySide Studios is an Australian AAA rated game developer. So what they do is they create games mostly on mobile, but also on cross-platform now. And that's typically games that are kind of like these kids games, if I kind of generalize, although not a lot of kids play them because you have to pay for them. So basically the business model is twofold. You have them creating their own games, which is called original IP. And then they do this work for hire stuff, which is where they might work for Facebook, or more recently, they announced a 10-month deal with Activision Blizzard. And so they kind of have both sides of this business. The work for hire keeps the revenue coming in the door while they create their own games and launch their own titles. We recommended PlaySide a while ago here at Rask, but also I mentioned it on the podcast. I mentioned it and I shared the interview with CEO and co-founder Jerry Sackers. And so what's happened in the past week? Well, PlaySide Studios in, I think it was 2019, decided to buy a franchise of, think of it just like character sets. It had some games, it had some videos. And if you're from Victoria, as I am, on the train system, the metro train system here in Melbourne, you would have seen these little characters that look like beans with arms and legs, and they would always be shown dying. So I know it sounds grotesque, but there might be one with bullet holes in it, another one that's cut in half, whatever. And the idea was to improve safety on trains. So it's kind of a catchy thing that could appeal to young people in particular, but also just catch the attention of everyone. Anyway, this brand that was created for the metro train system kind of died. And it's funny because it's called Dumb Ways to Die. And Jerry Sackers recognized this, and the team at PlaySide recognized that this brand has a lot of assets in it that they can use across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, etc., to drive awareness for other things that they're doing. So they could take that, basically that creative IP, and now they've since turned it into 10,000 different characters, which they are going to create into a game in 2023. And the basic idea is this. PlaySide bought the Dumb Ways to Die franchise for, I think it was 2.25 or $2.5 million. If I just get these numbers up, let's have a look at this. Yeah, so $2.25 million. And it actually was only last year, so 2021, my mistake. And what they did is they have since taken those 10,000 characters and turned them into NFTs, non-fungible tokens, on the Ethereum blockchain. And basically what they did is they said to all of their users on Discord and on social media, you can come and be part of this NFT minting, so where they create the NFTs, and you can buy your character effectively, and you can become the digital owner of that character. And then when the game is developed, it's basically becomes your skin and your avatar in the game. And the average selling price of these was around about $1,000 US. And they ended up selling about 7,700. A couple of thousand actually, what actually happened. So they made about $8.4 million, and the share price went up like 30 or 33% or something. And what actually happened is 2,000 of those NFTs were kind of like, they said they were going to pull up the sale at 7,700 NFTs, but somehow the final 2,000 or so got minted anyway, and they were purchased dirt cheap. And so the company had to buy them back to make good on its word to its users. And so it bought those back. And so it had to make two ASX announcements, one saying, we just made $8.4 million. And the other one saying, we just had to buy some back for about 500,000. Now, I know I've gone on for a bit of a time here, but this is a really unique case of a company on the ASX selling a digital asset on the blockchain, which is still a kind of gray area for a lot of regulators. And they've basically returned the value of their purchase of this franchise fourfold from one NFT offering. And they also, I'm led to believe, they also get recurring payments from secondary market sales of the NFTs. So that's a lot for people to digest. You can jump onto Twitter and you can learn more if you want. But yeah, I'd give it all of the shenanigans, probably like a B or a B plus, just simply based on the fact it hasn't been done before. There are a lot of critics to this, what they've done, but there are a lot of people who think that this is a really interesting way to drive awareness for a new game and get players to effectively buy in by purchasing their characters up front. So they've taken this 8 million, and they've now announced that they're going to hire 20 developers to work on the game. So that's PlaySide, that's NFTs, and I went way over time.
Oh, well, that sounds fascinating because you basically got paid for hiring people. That's actually
That's exactly,
fascinating. Fascinating. It's
yeah.
fascinating. I
So they
love it.
basically,
Yeah.
it's like they crowdsource the development, and in return for people crowdsourcing it, they effectively get their own skin or their own avatar in the game, so that they can be unique in that world, that Beanland. So yeah, it's a fantastically innovative thing. I don't know if it's necessarily something that for some people don't really like it because they think it's kind of like a bit artificial in terms of what do you actually get, and are the prices transparent, so on and so forth. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
And is it repeatable?
that's it. Yeah, that's it. And I've questioned that separately for our members. But yeah, that's PlaySide Studios, PLY on the ASX.